The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? For our 50th episode, Amber and Scott dive into My Penguin Friend. Animals don't have to be pets to be your friend, and they make better friends than most humans. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Welcome, everyone, back to Cinema IRL. Today we are talking about My Penguin Friend. This sweeping family adventure, My Penguin Friend, is a triumphant tale of friendship between a lonely father and a little lost penguin who recharges his spirit and heals his family with an unshakable ocean-crossing loyalty. So I'm doing the intro on this one because I know Amber has many thoughts.
I hate people.
People generally are the worst.
I hate people.
Amber, I know we're not a movie review show, so we're not going to review the movie. But please tell me, and everyone else out there in podcast land, why do you hate people, at least at this moment?
So I'm watching for the first hour, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just the heartwarming film that I need today. This is just what I need. And then people have to effing interfere in effing crap that just stop. Just effing stop. This is why, generally, as a whole, I'm a private person. Because this amazing penguin got injured in an oil spill that, people caused. And then he winds up getting to land and under the care of a man who lost his son many years ago. And the man takes care of the penguin, washes the oil off the penguin, nurses the penguin back to health. And the penguin stays for a couple months and then leaves and goes back to the nesting ground with all the other penguins and goes to their den and comes back after that to Joao, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name right, to visit again. And this is what the penguin does until the penguin comes one time to visit and someone whips out their phone and takes a video and saying, isn't this cool? This penguin keeps coming. And the penguin had been tagged last time he was at the nesting grounds. Fine, all fine and well and good. Scientific research can have value. So Dim, the penguin, has a red tracking device on him, and one of the researchers sees this video that someone takes of Dim in the story, and they're like, oh, I wonder if this could be our penguin. Sure enough, long story short, it is their penguin. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this penguin went, 5,000 miles or something to this beach to visit this man. And basically, the three people who are on the research team are amazed at this penguin making this journey to go and visit this person, and they realize that he goes to visit this person, stays there basically from June until December, then December goes back to the nesting grounds to mate, stays there again for 6 months, and then comes back. And instead of just saying, wow, did we get lucky to tag and track this penguin so we can see the amazing things that this penguin does and the decisions that this penguin has made to go to this beach, this small beach, to see this man, but some person who's in charge of the research team says, hey, I think we should take this penguin and throw him in the university and study him and take away his freedom, and that's what we're going to do. And so from a what would you do perspective, if I was in charge of that research team, number one, I would have cut that freaking tracker off of that penguin in a heartbeat. And some time passes and you can tell the woman doesn't really want to do it, but she's going to get funding and she's going to get a grant. And so they basically capture Dim and put him in a carrier, and he manages to escape. And the I think her name was Andrea or something like that, the head researcher. I guess she's a hero because she lets the penguin escape and doesn't capture him, other than having the balls to step up and saying, no, we're not going to deprive this penguin of his freedom. And what a remarkable opportunity we have to track this penguin and see what this penguin chooses to do in coming to and fro so regularly. And woman, not a hero. So when Din Dim tries to then, I don't know, go through the frickin' desert or wherever the heck landlocked place he is, and then falls down a mountain and injures himself, and then manages to get back to the ocean, but almost dies until the man goes out looking for him because he is way late. So from a what would you do perspective, number one, I would have the balls to stand up to my boss saying, depriving this penguin of his freedom is not the right thing to do. Number two, I would cut the frickin' tracker off of that penguin. Number three, I hate people.
Just a note for our audience here, just so everyone understands here, that while this movie was inspired by a true story, it was not based on a true story. So while this penguin did visit this guy for 8 consecutive years, and they show a little bit at the end about that, just understand that most of these story elements that got put into the movie are fictional elements, which, don't get me wrong, fictional or not, knowing my wife over here, she's going to get riled up over this, because if you've noticed in the past, when it comes to mental health, I get riled up. When it comes to animal rights, she gets riled up.
So we can't, as human beings, can't we just appreciate nature? Just appreciate it and observe it from afar without freaking interfering? Like, the tracker is fine. Okay, fine. Go ahead and do the tracker. But this is why if I had a penguin friend who came to visit me on the beach, I wouldn't be walking that penguin friend through the village for other people to then shoot a video of and then make that video go viral, and then for people to jeopardize the health and safety of that penguin. That would just be something between me and the penguin other people don't need to know about, because people interfere and they mess crap up that just doesn't have anything to do with them. So what was a nice, uplifting, inspiring story for the first hour was really stressful and unpleasant for the next half hour, as the penguin was captured. The penguin was trying to get through this landlocked area, fell down a mountain, got all scraped up, was floating practically dead in the ocean. Yeah, not the feel-good film. At first, I was like, oh, everyone needs to see this. And yeah, I hate people.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot for me to add here from a what would you do perspective.
From a what would you do perspective, okay. Much like the guy, I would help the penguin. So what would you do? I would also help the penguin. From a what would you do perspective, sure, I would track the penguin and I would be curious to see, oh my gosh, is that our penguin that ended up there? From a what would you do perspective, I would stand up to a boss who's making the wrong decision and robbing this amazing, remarkable penguin of his freedom and throwing him in a clinical environment to study him, other than the whole point of marine biology is you're really supposed to be studying animals in their natural environment. From a what would you do perspective, I would never film something like that and post it so I could get some views and actually jeopardize the health and well-being of this animal.
I'd like to know from a what would you do perspective, if I had an 8-year-old son who wanted to get into a rowboat and go out into the middle of the ocean on his birthday, because it was his birthday, and I looked at the sky and I said, oh, this is not going to be a great trip if we go out. I'm not going to let my 8-year-old son bully me into a situation that's going to result in his death.
Yeah, that's how the movie started out, and why our main character was somewhat
Effed up?
Yeah, just kind of isolated. He was married, but obviously had suffered immensely from the loss of his son at a young age. And I agree that the storm weather sky was definitely looking ominous, and I can understand wanting to indulge your kid on their birthday, but I think the wife said, I don't blame you for what happened to their son, but I definitely would probably err on the side of safety, especially when it comes to water and the ocean.
Well, in fairness, the wife could have spoken up as well. I mean, either one of them could have said, no, we're not. You either we're not going out or you two aren't going out. And so you can't really blame him because she's probably equally his fault. Like, it's not like he did anything wrong. He just...
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't
besides-
directly there in the conversation. She was washing dishes and kind of looking at what was happening through the window, and maybe just thought that they were going to stay in the little alcove area. But my penguin friend, penguins are amazing, animals are amazing, people suck. That's all I got.
Well said.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.